I made it.
You missed one.
What?
You missed one.
Shoot! I can't see it at home, though, can?
No.
Okay, all right. Well,
Yeah, you just look purple on that
it's gonna
side.
bother me, though. It's gonna bother me.
His audio's cutting out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta
So when are we going live?
shove it in there. Yeah.
Oh, we're live now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Had a little last-minute adjustment we had to do. Everything's under control. Don't worry. Professionals are on it. Welcome to Inside the South Point Hotel and Casino. It's Thursday. You know tonight it's going to be packed for Thursday Night Football. The show is called Punchlines. It's a fun mix of sports, comedy, conversation, and some gambling advice. I'm Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan. And today's show, well, today's show, we're going to start off with some guy on a train and a bike, and it's sports. So watch this. All right, so Ryan, first time I watched this clip, I didn't realize it was on a moving train. I don't know how I missed that. Okay, but right now, that stuff's hard. I could do that. I could do that. Can't do that. I could have made that jump. Maybe. So anyway, that I could not have done. So this is on a moving train. These Red Bull, and then at the end, the steps,
And off the train.
and then off the train and sticks the landing.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Now, the reason we stopped that clip is another train came and killed the guy, so we didn't want to show that part. Now,
Holy cow.
what?
What a jump.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, the jump to me with the darkness. Is there a flag on the play already? There is no flag in. Oh, she hit the computer. Oh, that made it. And finally got the flag in the shot. Anyway, welcome everybody to the show. Behind the glass is Ryan. Moving on, the show. What? Behind the glass.
I didn't even put my jacket on.
Oh,
what
man.
a day.
Do you want to
it's
go put
been.
your jacket on?
It's fine.
It's been a crazy morning, guys. He's like, well, this is the ceremonial first pit. This doesn't even fit.
It's been a great day.
It's been a hectic morning, ladies and gentlemen. Behind the glass,
Camera's not even
he
level.
is simply
What?
the best producer.
Oh,
What
my
happened
goodness. I'm just looking at my own shot. I'm not even.
It looks like the
Crooked.
tie is the microphone. It looks
Yeah.
like your microphone is a tie. There you go. And look at my, I got a mic shadow again.
Welcome to Punchlines.
Welcome everyone to the show. Ryan's our producer. Let's get it for Ryan. Ryan, hey, working hard,
not this
working
morning.
late. Everybody was working late last night. We're here to do a great show. Also joining us today, this is a friend of Jeff Parles.
Yes.
This gentleman's a big Philly guy, big Philly sports fan. He's a big gambler. He's his Twitter bio says he's the unofficial #1 Creed fan. And you know, we talk a lot about Creed. Now, I was thinking, immediately I thought the band, right? Can You Take Me Higher? Then I'm like, what if he means the movie Creed? Starring Michael B. Jordan, because after that it says he's like a huge movie fan. So now when he comes on, I'm gonna be like, oh, Scott Stapp, Creed's amazing. He's gonna be like, I'm talking about Apollo Creed. It's gonna be like, oh, okay. We don't know. We're gonna find out. Anyway, Jon Jansen will join us in about 12, 15 minutes, something like that. And then live in the studio, a gentleman that I saw last night. We will explain that. Vinny Magliulo will be here. The one and only Vinny will be here to talk about Thursday Night Football. Right? We got a big game tonight. Jeff Parles was not here, but he was a Jets guy, so we were going to talk all these Jet things, but Jeff couldn't make it. Jeff will be here next time he's on the show. Yeah.
He'll actually be here later this afternoon.
Right. He'll be here later this afternoon on Sports by the Book.
Yep. The Football Frenzy show.
Football Frenzy
3 o'clock
show
this
at
afternoon.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock tomorrow.
A simple piece of paper. That's all. I just want to be under
Good
here.
morning,
All right.
Vietnam.
We're going to get it. We're going to get it going. All right. So we like to start with a funny clip, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I forget. Oh, yeah. So tonight's game is the Jets and the upstart New England Patriots. It's a long time since we've called them like, they're upstart. This is a young team, a team we don't know much about because Bill Belichick was there forever. Anyway, their new coach, former player for Coach Belichick, Gerard Mayo, is the head coach, and he's a prankster. He's a little prankster, and he did this on the sideline. It's pretty funny. So here's New England Patriots head coach. So he acts like something's coming at his head.
Yeah, like a punt or a pass.
Yeah.
Just a ball, coming their way.
A bird.
Got him.
Rob Gronkowski.
Got him all.
Now, see, I like him. Now, here's the thing. The thing I hate about that clip is I like him now, and I hate the Patriots.
Yeah.
Like, that's fun.
Yeah.
Like, he's playing pranks. You know, he's like funny guy, and he's a defensive-minded guy. I like defensive-minded football.
Yeah.
But I have to hate New England because they cost me, I don't know, maybe $20,000. If someone would have just told me to bet the Patriots week 1.
If only.
Oh, wait, Ryan did. I would have won. I would have at least tied the damn thing. All right, we have a lot of people in the chat room already. Well, me and Keith Lyle. So let's see. It's time for roll call. And let's do roll call. There's even music at the end of this graphic, which I swear I never heard till last time because I'm usually talking over the graphic as it rolls. So there you go. You think it's prison bars. Oh, no, it's a blackboard. But wasn't school like being in prison for some of us? There's a little chalk there. Roll with the punches. So anyway, the question I posed to you punchies, and by the way, thank you guys for always making it the funnest chat. The most funnest isn't a word, right?
It worked.
On podcast, you can say anything. Webcast, whatever this is. I don't know what we do. So anyway, we always put a question in there of the day to kick it off. And yesterday it was announced Eli Manning's headlining the players up for the National Football League Hall of Fame class of 25. There's also guys like Luke Kuechly, who we talked about the other day on the show. Brief career, I think 8 or 9 years. 7-time All-Pro. I mean, the guy was really good. Adam Vinatieri. Does another kicker get in? And Terrell Suggs. So I said, all right, who of these deserve to be in, and who are we forgetting? So let's see. Keith Lyle's in there. Bob Zaney actually was in there, and we'll talk about Bob a little bit later. Bob's actually going to be on the show next Thursday. Very exciting. Bob Zaney will be here all Thursdays doing the Dennis Bono Show, which is the great afternoon show here at the South Point. At what time is that at? 2 o'clock? We need that on the schedule too. Dennis Bono does a free show over there. Maybe it's not free. Anyway, Bob's coming in. There's the poll right there. So we put in the poll, which of these 4 players is most deserving to be in the Hall of Fame? Now, these aren't first-time nominees like we had mentioned, but Hines Ward, Randall Cunningham, Antonio Gates, Marshawn Lynch. So right now, everyone's like, okay, do a vote, Frank. Who are you going to say? Hines Ward deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. 1,000 receptions, Super Bowl MVP, 2 rings. That right there, 1,000 catches. And without an argument, the best blocking wide receiver in NFL history. Ask anyone who played against him. But I am going to click Antonio Gates because he was unstoppable at the tight end position. I put him up there with Tony Gonzalez and probably now like a Kelsey, or is Kittle's in that category? Is he good enough?
To me, yes.
Yeah, he really is, right? I think he gets overshadowed by all the hoopla surrounding Travis Kelce and his girlfriend, but hoopla. I don't know if I've ever used hoopla on the show, but I don't know. Who would you say of those 4 players? Randall Cunningham, by the way, a local UNLV, kind of revolutionized that position of a running, passing quarterback ahead of his time and was great. So I know you might not have seen him play.
Yeah.
Then Marshawn Lynch, beast mode. What do you say?
I mean, I love beast mode. I don't necessarily think he's a Hall of Famer.
I don't think so either. He was a great player.
Yeah, awesome player. Hall of very, very good.
He's in the Hall of very, very good.
I just don't know if I put him in the Hall of Fame. Hines Ward, I agree with. Antonio Gates, I agree with. I never got to see Randall Cunningham. He did coach at a high school here locally. Yeah. Silverado High School while I was in high school. But of these 4, Hines Ward, Randall Cunningham, Antonio Gates, Marshawn Lynch, probably put Hines.
Yeah, I went with Antonio Gates because I didn't want to feel like a homer with Hines Ward. I've been on the Hines Ward train for a long time. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Antonio Gates.
It's also Torrey Holt, though.
What's that?
Torrey Holt.
I know. Torrey Holt, I almost put in there, too. Torrey Holt, part of the greatest show on turf with the St. Louis Rams. Antonio Gates was a basketball player. I don't even think he played college football. He went to Kent State. He went to Kent State, and he beat Pitt in like the Elite 8. That's how I knew his name. So when he got drafted, I'm like, oh, this guy won't last. And, of course, he's now like one of the best tight ends ever. So anyway, let us know what you think. What do we have in here? Dean Hilt, Anquan Bolden. Yeah. Anquan Bolden, wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. I just saw a stat that he is, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the first rookie to have 2 touchdowns and 100 yards and a half on the Cardinals. I know that's, you're thinking the other one that I sent.
Yeah, yeah.
Bolden was awesome. Okay. He ended his career with Baltimore. Maybe not ended, but he went to Baltimore. So that immediately, I don't allow him.
No, don't touch your microphone.
Yeah, you gotta adjust it again.
I need some slack here.
He ended his career with the Lions. Bolden did, 2016.
No.
Yeah. How's that now?
Really scratchy.
Is it from underneath?
Oh, you're good. You're good. Don't mess with it. You're good.
Don't touch the cable. Don't touch the wire.
Oh my God! Cut the blue wire.
Not the yellow wire and not the green wire.
If you won the 20, this is from Minidar. If you won the 20K, would have you paid the 215? I have an announcement to make. I'm paying the 180 tomorrow. I will pay it and be done with it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I am.
When we're not even here tomorrow?
It'll be there. I'll do it Monday. I'll do a ceremonial Venmo on the show. There you go.
Programming note.
We will. Yeah. What tomorrow? You want me to say it already? Oh, okay. We'll get. Yeah. We're not. We're off tomorrow. There's so much football going on with Sports by the Book. So we're off. B-Town Dummy. Seattle's Jim Zorn. He's been blacklisted for too long simply because he's a lefty. Thank you, Christian. Jim Zorn was one of my favorite quarterbacks. There's a lot of deserving players. Torrey Holt was on there. Steve McNair. Hall of Very Good. I watched the documentary. There's a documentary on the sad ending of Steve McNair's life, which is really good. I think it was on Netflix or is it on Netflix? Yeah, I actually watched it. It was good. Donovan McNabb. A lot of NFC championships. Doug Flutie kills me on that one. But is the Hall of Fame, do you include Canadian football as part of the pro football? It's not the NFL Hall of Fame.
Right.
Because Warren Moon got into the Hall of Fame based on NFL, but also what he did up in the CFL. Doug Flutie was an awesome CFL player. I think he won 2 or 3 Grey Cups up there, so I don't know. Then running backs, they just have such short careers. Sean Alexander, who we talked about being one of the best. Jamal Charles, who I put in the same sentence with him. Corey Dillon. So many guys. Ricky Williams. No. Chad Ochocinco. I mean, that guy, I hated him, but he had a great career. Demarius Thomas and Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. After Marvin Harrison Jr., Reggie Wayne picked up that slack with Peyton. Okay, we'll do it live, says Keith. So anyway, thank you, everybody, for being there. Okay, so it's time for That's Crazy. Or is it lines?
They're one and the same.
It doesn't matter. Whatever one you press, Ann.
There we go.
Yeah.
There's a cat. Let the cat out of the bag. There he is. We're just going to look at him. We're not going to hear him move. There it is. Okay. So that's crazy.
What? That's crazy.
And there we go. All right, Ryan, do you want to kick it off?
Sure.
Okay.
So I will go to Major League Baseball. I will go to the first team that clinched their postseason berth last night, the NL Central winning.
The team that I said would not win the division and would fade all year.
The team that my team stole their manager and still managed to not finish. But yes, the Milwaukee Brewers did win their NL Central, and this is their manager.
Pat Murphy?
Yep, talking to the team. And then the team owner comes in.
I know this. I've talked to this guy on the phone. I think it's Mark Anastasio.
Gives quite the quote.
Oh, no, that's Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
There is no one who epitomizes a champion.
Legend, baseball announcer. He's 90.
Right here. There is no one out here. What an example for us to be with every single day. Bob Uecker. No doubt.
Okay, now wait till what Bob says here. So Uecker partakes in the shower. He's 90 years old, by the way.
I think I peed my pants.
Bob Uecker, a very, very under-average baseball player, but became a legend. The Miller Lite ads. He was on Johnny Carson all the time. Started Mr. Belvedere. He's been doing Brewer games forever. So if there's one good thing I can take from the Brewers winning the Central, it's that. Because Bob Uecker, the movie Major League, come on, just a bit outside. He's the best. So congratulations to them. I can't believe I'm saying the Milwaukee Brewers. I would have said any team over them had a chance. I thought the Reds had a chance. The Cardinals, I can't, but the Cubs, the Pirates. But again, kudos to Milwaukee and Craig Counsell. Not looking so good this year, is it?
No.
All right, so is there a second part of that?
There is a second part to it.
Great title, by the way.
Being that the youngest player for the Milwaukee Brewers is 20 years old. Jackson Chourio did have a 2020 season this year. Youngest
and he's 20.
To do so. But 20 years old, so he clearly can't drink alcohol or celebrate with beer and champagne, so they had to give him the non-alcoholic stuff, the non-alcoholic Coors, the non-alcoholic champagne, like apple cider, just so he could participate.
Apple cider? Where's Matt Neverett when you need him? Yeah, and you titled this Baby Bottles. Did we see it already? I'm sorry, Ann. But yeah, very funny. But technically a non-alcoholic beer, I think there's like 0.0001 alcohol, so that might be illegal. So have him arrested, bet against the Brewers in the playoffs. That kid's amazing. I just don't know how they do it. I couldn't name. When I think of their pitching, automatically I want to say Corbin Burns. He's not there.
Yep.
Freddie Peralta. I mean, I don't even know who the ace is. Didn't Devin Williams even go out, or is he back? The reliever?
I'm not entirely sure.
That's how little
actually.
I care and know about the Brewers. Literally, one of my least favorite. I don't hate them. I don't care about them. They just. Anyway, congratulations, Brewers. The Yankees also clinched, right?
Yes, they did.
Yankees clinched after them, so the Yankees are in, but not necessarily the division yet.
Yep.
but they've clinched a playoff spot. So congratulations to the Yankees. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting October. I'll tell you that right now. Okay.
Two of the 12 have clinched.
Yeah. I mean, there's teams we know they're going to be in. We just don't know what level. So we'll see. Let's see here. Okay, it's Rudy Arozarena. I put what?
Randy.
It's Randy. I swear to God, his name used to be Rudy. Anyway, Randy Arozarena. This was a crazy pickoff play. Speaking of the Yankees, now this is something you've never seen. A guy's at bat, takes a swing, he loses the bat. The runner on third ducks for his life.
Julio Rodriguez ducks, but guess what? The ball's still alive, and you're like way in foul territory. So this angle I saw last night, you can see him on third. He ducks for the bat. He's halfway to the dugout. He's not even in the coach's box. So the catcher's like, hey, boom, and he's out. What does OptiStats say there at the bottom? So OptiStats goodness gracious.
Yeah, I can read it. The Mariners are the only Major League Baseball team in the last 50 years to have the tying run on third with nobody out in the ninth inning or later, only to lose the game in the space of two batters without putting the ball in play without trying to steal. Again, is this OptiStats? Whoever works for them, let's DM them and see if we can get one of them on the show, because I don't understand how you even look that up, but that's phenomenal. I like that they said in the last 50 years. Well, tell us who the other team was in 50 years, but what a weird stat and a weird way to end the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
But I mean, can you blame Julio Rodriguez? There's a flying projectile coming at your head. You're going to duck.
Yeah. But he goes so far out of the baseline. Like, it kind of looks like the strikeout he thought was the third out.
And he's going to the dugout or something. Yeah, it does.
And then he finally realizes and has to dive back. Yeah.
So, I think that's maybe what happened. We'll have to check some post-game reports on that. But
craziest double play I've ever seen.
What's that again?
The craziest double play I've ever seen.
That's why we had to put it in. That's crazy. Close up. That's crazy. And put the cat back in the bag for the weekend. Chalk the cat. He's all right, folks.
That's crazy.
All right, let's do moonshots, and then we'll bring our guest in, who we haven't met yet. We're very excited about it. Talk a little Philly sports, talk a little NFL action. Anyway, Brendan Gaughan has City Lights Shine. This is the moonshine. You can come down to the South Point commemorative bottles for the South Point 400, which is the NASCAR race here in Vegas, October 18th, 20th?
Yeah,
it's the weekend. I party all weekend, Dan. It starts on the 18th for me. I gear up.
It starts on the 18th to the 20th.
Yeah, 18th to the 20th. So we're going to go out to South Point 400. It's going to be great. So here we go. The Steelers play at night that night, so I don't have to miss the game. They play Dallas, I think, at night. Anyway, we got the moonshine, moonshots. These are all the homers that were hit in Major League Baseball last night. Justin Turner had one. Trevor Story. Manny Machado with 2. Yaz, Bohm, Ozuna. Who had the farthest home run of the night? We're going to let's see.
One of the Naylor brothers, Josh Naylor.
Really?
His first of 2 home runs on the night was the furthest of the night. 29 total home runs across Major League Baseball, but Josh Naylor sends one 445 feet in Cleveland against the Twins for his first of 2 on the night.
So that's the first homer in 3 days that hasn't been in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And would that be out in every stadium?
Yes, it would.
Yeah, that was a moonshot. By the way, come down. You can win a bottle of moonshine if you walk in. There's details on if you play enough slots. There's a bunch of ways to win a bottle in September. So come down. And by the way, when I left yesterday, this bottle was not quite this empty. So I don't know what happened. Was Brendan sampling his own product on Gone Racing this morning?
He actually brought in the Kyle Larson bottle. This morning.
And where is it? He didn't leave it?
No.
Well, anyway, I took a Sharpie. It's pink, but we put a line on there. We're going to see if it's tampered with. It's our booze. So anyway, great graphic, and Josh Naylor. By the way, Trevor Story is back.
Mm-hmm. I think he's actually been back for a while.
That's the first time maybe he's at a homer that I've remembered in a while. I always like Trevor Story. All right. You want to do it now? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring our guest in 1 second, but first we're going to look at 100 shows ago. We do this 100. I saw it. 100 shows ago was April 30th. That was when we did episode 143. That's the I Love You episode. Anyway, it was National Honesty Day, so I went around the room to the crew and our co-hosts to be honest about something, and this is the results. Here we go. It's National Honesty Day, and today's National Honesty Day, a special day celebrated every year on April 30th, encourages everyone to be truthful and open in all aspects of life. And is there anything you'd like to be honest about? You can see the graphic. It's Pinocchio. Don't tell a lie. And here we go. Something very poignant. Here we go.
I honestly did not come up with something to say.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. She's at least honest. Ryan, do you have anything you want to be honest about today?
See, I thought you were going to ask us something, and we had to be honest. That's what I got.
Do you love me?
I love you.
It's all a setup. It's all a setup.
Kane, is there anything you want to come clean about? Something on it?
I like the Ravens.
He likes the Ravens. Have him fired right now.
He goes, honestly, I like the Ravens.
We should ask Jeff, in all honesty. Should we get Jeff Parles in here? Ask Jeff. Matt, anything you want to be honest about?
In that same vein, Caden's got me thinking, honestly, as much as I love Pittsburgh, seeing the Steelers lose does make me happy because all my friends are sad, and I'm happy.
Well, this is Matt's last Tuesday on the show.
Yeah, it took a turn quickly, Frank.
Gonna get.
It's not like I root against them.
It sounded like you did. Yes, Ryan.
Green Bay sucks.
Green Bay sucks. Well, that you're honest about. Yeah. All right. I hate the Ravens.
Drew Dog wants to be honest.
Drew, yes, Drew. He was next on the script. Drew Dog, what do you want to be honest about?
I honestly think I'm just a little bit taller than you now.
Oh,
he's a little bit taller than me? I'm sorry. In the last 3 months, he's grown. Is that possible?
I'm a growing boy.
Yeah, he's not.
Come on out here. Let's see. Come on out. Let's do it. Come out. Let's see who's taller.
Oh, I don't know if you want to be put to shame like this.
What's that?
I don't know if you want to do this.
We're going to see.
Oh, it's fine. Look, here's me. Look, I'm not even in the shot. Okay.
Here comes Drew Dog.
Okay, here comes Drew Dog. Are we going? We're going back to back. We're doing. Wait, take a step towards me. Keep coming.
Ooh.
Here we go.
I don't know, Drew.
A little closer.
I don't know, Andrew. Frank by an inch.
I rule! Get out of here, short stuff.
1, 5.
Hello.
Nice.
And we're back. That was a pretty good save. All right, there we go. I'm on camera now. Jeez, people are like, what is going on this show today? Why is he never in his chair? There's a lot behind the scenes you don't know. I put a clip on Twitter yesterday of behind the scenes. It's a party in here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing in a guest who is from my home state, the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. He's a friend of Jeff Parles. Don't hold that against him. You can find him. You can find him at JJansen34 on Twitter. Fox Philly Gambler, PHL Gambler. We'll get all of this information from him. Ladies and gentlemen, Jon Jansen is on the show. John, we appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I don't know how I feel. Jeff Parles is the one that's like selling me to you, so I don't know. They're like, oh, they're looking forward to it. I was like, what did you say? What did you say about me that they would be looking forward to this?
Now, we trust Jeff, and we love Jeff, so we knew this would be fun. So anyway, you're a Philly guy. We were just talking off camera for a second. So how do you feel about the Monday Night Football game and the play call and Saquon Barkley dropping the ball? We had a reaction video of the fans leaving. That's what we opened the show with on Tuesday. And the Philly fans are the best for the reactions. But anyway, what was your reaction watching that game, and where were you?
Yeah, it was mostly just coaching. And by the way, I was sleeping. I had to wake up and like find all this. Late night games. I'm 30 years old now. I just turned 30. Apparently late night games. My first NFL season as a 30-year-old, and already the first Monday night game, I fall asleep halfway through. So yeah, that's not going well. But of course, I went back and watched it, and the reaction is just coaching. Like coaching was a big thing coming into this season. Like Nick Sirianni had all of this reflection about what happened last year, what he could do better, things that he needed to fix, and then one of the first times he has to do anything as a coach, he ends up making the wrong decision. A game in which they had, I think, close to a 99% chance of winning. They end up losing that game. So I'm like, for that moment, I don't care about defense. I don't care about quarterback. I don't care about offense. I don't care about scheme. I don't care about anything else. And everybody had all of these issues with the Eagles, especially with, their defensive line, all of that stuff. But at that moment, it didn't matter. They won the game. And so they had a chance to go up 2-0, like win 2 games, start 2-0 this season, which is huge, likely in this division, because I think it's going to be close between them and Dallas. And the coach blows it in a game that they essentially won. So that, to me, coaching is an issue. And Nick Sirianni, I was okay with bringing him back for this season. But it is very likely that if he continues to coach this way and make those blunders, it's going to be only one more season for Nick Sirianni.
Okay, so when do the Bill Belichick talks, when do those conversations start happening around Philly? Are they already happening? Because, he's already stated, I want to coach. Could you imagine him in Philly? That seems like the perfect city and the perfect fit for him.
Yeah, I think right now the coaching conversations are being held off because I think a lot of people believe in this team to be very good. And if that means this team isn't good, and the coach needs to get fired, nobody wants to go to those lengths yet. So this is still kind of a work in progress, or just kind of wait and see for a lot of Eagles fans. I think last year's kind of put behind a little bit of what happened, and a kind of a fluke thing. They have a talented roster. They seem to have a talented quarterback. They have coordinators that people seem to like in Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore. Now, Vic Fangio is, I think, starting to get some criticism. So I don't know if anybody's going there yet. I just know for me that last year, part of the problem was you had a coach that continually blew games late. I think they had 3 games last last year that they lost in the last 2 minutes of the game when they were leading in the last 2 minutes of the game, and they did it again in game number 2 of the season in 2024. That can't happen. Like that's coaching to me all the way. So I start to question that, but I think a lot of Eagles fans are still kind of a wait-and-see approach.
Well, Jeff Parles was supposed to be on the show, and we know he's a Jets fan. So Thursday Night Football tonight, we have the Patriots versus the Jets. So I want you to pretend to be Jeff Parles and a Jets fan. First of all, I'm sorry to submit you to that on your first show ever on this on Punchlines. But if you're a Jets fan tonight, what is your hope? They're favored by 6, right? Is it 6 points right now?
Yeah, 6 points.
It's around 6.
6.5 now.
6.5. It's up. People are betting the Jets. All right, you're a Jets fan now. How do you feel about the game tonight?
Well, am I also Jeff Parles? Do I have to do a Jeff Parles
You
impression?
could try if you would like to.
Jeff starts every sentence, by the way, with, well, look. That's how Jeff starts every sentence with that.
Can you do the voice? Can you do the voice at all?
I don't know if I can do it's a very unique voice.
Try. Give us 5 seconds of Jeff Parles.
Well, look, Aaron Rodgers, I can't. That was good enough. The voice is so unique. I can do the mannerisms. Yes. I can't do the voice itself. It's like something that just can't be replicated.
He's one of a kind.
So I don't know if I can do that.
So anyway, you're a Jets fan. What do you think about tonight?
So if I was a Jets fan, I'd feel pretty confident because I think most of it has to do with Aaron Rodgers looking pretty good. Even in the first game, they didn't play well against San Francisco. None of that was really Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers have looked kind of comfortable after a season in which he only played 4 snaps and had a horrific, devastating injury in an Achilles injury. So to see him back physical and physically healthy and also, I think, comfortable, that's a huge thing. I don't think Kirk Cousins looked comfortable in game number 1. Aaron Rodgers did. So that's something to be confident about. It was a good win against the Titans on the road. Tennessee's not a great team, but a road win for New York early on in the season is good. And you're playing a Patriots team that essentially has no offense. Jacoby Brissett looked better, and the Patriots offense looked better in general in week 2, but the confidence would have to be you're at home, your defense is really good, going up against a bad offense, and Aaron Rodgers has looked comfortable. And even though the Patriots defense can be good at times, it's just probably not enough for Jets team at home that I think is going to be kind of look. The last time Aaron Rodgers was in MetLife Stadium, it ended very quickly. So I think there's going to be I think a high energy there tonight.
Well, with this being a divisional matchup and the Dolphins losing Tua, do you think this division race becomes just between the Jets and the Bills, and kind of how do you see that playing out?
Yeah, even with Tua, I kind of saw this as a Jets and Bills thing. I kind of always saw Miami as a wild card team, not able to eclipse what I think could be better, more promising seasons for the Jets and the Bills. I would still say the Bills. I'm high on the Bills. I think Josh Allen, I know he loses Stephon Diggs, but this is an offense just tailor-made for Josh Allen. Or sort of the same way that in Kansas City, it's with Patrick Mahomes. Now, you mess with a few things, you tinker with a few things, and Buffalo is going to have to do that this season, but still, this is an offense that Josh Allen's comfortable in, has produced in, and the talent's still good enough at wide out and even at tight end, a couple of tight ends there that are very good, that I think, to me, the Bills are the team to beat. They have the quarterback to beat. They still have the coaching staff, I think, that is very good with Sean McDermott as head coach, and Josh Allen is just otherworldly to me. So the Jets are in that conversation. The problem is, though, I think Buffalo's just always going to have a stranglehold on it as long as Josh Allen is playing the way he is.
And, I mean, he can throw to Stephon Diggs. Where's he again? Oh, Texas. I keep forgetting he's not on the Bills. I think it benefits the Bills because no one's expecting him this year. This is the first time where there's not a lot of Super Bowl, even division pressure. Everyone's, the Dolphins. But I think it's great. I think it's a good position to be in for the Bills. Look, I'm a Steeler fan through and through, but the Bills I always had a soft spot for, watching them lose 4 Super Bowls, in the early 90s, and it's only 3 hours from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, as an Eagles fan, I don't really have a soft spot for that. Oh, wow, you lost 4 Super Bowls? Great. We lost a million NFC Championship games, and we have one Super Bowl.
All right, Donovan McNabb. We were looking, I don't know if you heard at the beginning, we were looking at the Hall of Fame class, the possible Hall of Fame class for 2025. Eli Manning is a lock. If there's anyone who argues against it, shut up. The guy won 2 Super Bowls. That's your ticket. You're in. It's like 300 wins in the majors. The other guys, Luke Kuechly will be in. Terrell Suggs, Adam Vinatieri as a kicker will probably get in. So Donovan McNabb, who went to umpteen NFC championships, only to lose quite a few of them. Is he a Hall of Famer? I don't know.
No, the stats aren't going to back it up. He was a productive quarterback with the Eagles, and probably the rushing numbers were a little bit better in his first few seasons when his passing wasn't really that developed yet. As it got advanced, though, and he got finally a great wide receiver in Terrell Owens, the passing numbers started to catch up. That 2008 season when he had Jon Jansen, he was a great thrower and almost got them. I think that was one of his better NFC Championship games and should have gotten them to a Super Bowl if it wasn't for Arizona coming back late in that game. Not late in that game, but they were just able to score so many points in the second half against that Eagles defense. But I think Donovan McNabb's numbers aren't close enough. He to me always is like, he's a great player. He was a really good quarterback. He was probably a top 10 quarterback through most of his career, but that's not going to kind of get you into the Hall of Fame. He didn't win the Super Bowl, which is also going to be going against his resume. The numbers just aren't there. I've never seen, I like Donovan, but I've never seen him as a Hall of Fame.
Okay, what about Randall Cunningham while we're on Philly quarterbacks? That was one we had in the poll. It looks like he got some votes, right?
Yeah.
22%. So Randall Cunningham, I'm older than you guys. I saw him play. He was kind of the first guy to be that guy that could run and pass and shake off tacklers. But probably, again, another Hall of Very Good, in your opinion?
Yeah, could be Hall of Very Good. I would give him more of a chance than Donovan because I think Randall kind of changed the game. Randall, I think physically, you almost put him in the Hall of Fame because physically I've never seen, and most people have never seen a quarterback as gifted as Randall Cunningham, and he was in an offense that really just told him to do whatever he wants. My dad says that all the time. He's like, basically, he just is like writing plays in the sand himself going, Buddy Ryan's like, do whatever you want. The defense is going to win this game for us, and you can figure it out. And Randall would figure it out, though. And when he did get wide receivers in Minnesota, he had some great passing numbers. God, yeah. So I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer, but I would like to see it just because I do think he changed the game and at least changed what teams wanted in a quarterback and saw Randall and going, you know what if we did have a quarterback with those attributes? I think that to me maybe deserves being.
That is very, very well put. Okay, go ahead, Ryan.
Well, so my question is going to go to running backs that we saw change teams this offseason. So we saw Joe Mixon leave the Bengals, go to the Texans. We saw Josh Jacobs leave the Raiders, go to the Packers. Those two are having very successful starts to their year. Saquon Barkley leaves the Giants, goes to the Eagles. 3 touchdowns in week 1. Not really being taken advantage of in week 2. Derrick Henry leaves the Titans, go to the Ravens. They don't seem to have it figured out on what they're trying to do with their offense with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Do you have any kind of insight in why 2 of the bigger running backs aren't doing well and the other 2 are?
Yeah, so I think with Saquon, I thought he's been great the first 2 weeks. Mostly in week 2, there was more of an emphasis on trying to stop the run, so I know his yards per carry numbers aren't going to be higher. But they didn't have A.J. Brown, so to me, it felt like Atlanta was kind of comfortable just playing in the box a little bit, kind of comfortable playing the run because of what Jalen Hurts provides as a runner and also what Saquon Barkley provides as a really explosive running back. I think he's been great the first 2 weeks. Derrick Henry, more of a product of his offensive line. The offensive line is a mess in Baltimore, and that's going to carry on throughout the season. So if there's one concern you have with Baltimore, it's can they protect Lamar Jackson? Can they create running lanes for Derrick Henry? They can't create anything at this point. Derrick Henry's getting met in the backfield with defenders. So that's going to be an issue. But I think with Josh Jacobs and Joe Mixon, they're just in situations where they're inexplosive passing offenses, so teams are doing this. Everybody's talking about it now because of Mel Kiper. These 2 high safeties outlawed in the NFL. Well, Houston and Green Bay have a really easy solution to that. It's let's run the ball. And they ran the ball a lot. And Green Bay had a really good game plan, trying to keep Malik Willis comfortable, not trying to have him pass too much. And Josh Jacobs pretty much benefited off of that. And also the team he was playing, their rush defense isn't all that good. So yeah, it's a small sample size. Things are skewed because of some contextual things. But I do think most of these teams that have paid for running backs are pretty happy with it. And it's because defenses are playing the pass a lot more. Teams are running a lot more. And so I think paying for those running backs is working for most of those teams. Really just for the Ravens, they don't have the offensive line to really do anything with Derrick Henry.
Cool. Yeah, I fully agree there.
Yeah. Okay, so we want to shift to baseball, and we have to talk about the Phillies since you're a Philly guy. I grew up when the Phillies were in the National League East. I hated them. I, for some reason, now like them. I've become a Bryce Harper fan. I liked the stadium. I thought in October, there was no way they were going to lose games 6 and 7 to Arizona at home. I put money on them. I doubled up on. I'm like, come on, they can't lose. And of course, the reaction video of that was brilliant. Are they playing well enough right now to go on that same kind of run? Is there a team you fear in the National League? Arizona and San Diego, I still think are tricky, but I'm rooting for the Phillies. And I'm a Dodger fan. too, but I don't. I've already said this on the show. I'm a Dodger fan, but I don't like that they have endless money. So anyway, Philadelphia. How do you feel about your Phillies in October?
Yeah, I think quietly, as you know, everybody was focused in Philadelphia on the Phillies because the NFL season hasn't started yet. The Phillies started playing bad, and now the Eagles are back 2 weeks into the season. Nick Sirianni blows a game, so everybody's talking about the coach and everything else there. That quietly, the Phillies are playing pretty well. I think the one thing I'm happy about is the bullpen seems to be better, which was not good after the All-Star game. So there were some questions of will they ever get back? And Matt Strahm, Jeff Hoffman, Jose Alvarado all look great. And Carlos Estevez, I think, has done a good job. But even if he doesn't, isn't what Jeff Hoffman or Matt Strahm is, he's still a very good pitcher. And also, Jose Ruiz has been kind of a bright spot in the bullpen as well. Rotation was the only thing that seemed to have some concerns recently. But then Aaron Nola tosses an unbelievable gem against the playoff team in Milwaukee. So Aaron Nola seems to be fine. Zach Wheeler's great.
Yeah.
So the starting pitching staff seems to be great, which the Dodgers have some problems with because of injuries. One of the bigger concerns I had with the Phillies was what was Bryce Harper going to be, because there seemed to be some injuries coming up and he wasn't playing all that well. There seemed to be less of a power surge for him. There really didn't seem to be any home runs coming. And then all of a sudden he starts hitting the baseball pretty hard. I have no questions, I have no questions or kind of concerns about the Phillies. To me, they seem like the best team in the National League. They're coming into the postseason healthier than the Dodgers, who I think the Dodgers are a big threat.
Yeah.
The biggest threat to them, to me, is Arizona because of what Arizona did last year. But Arizona, their lineup's great. Starting pitching staff is good. Bullpen's good. And they're one of the hotter teams in baseball right now. So Arizona, to me, would be probably the biggest potential threat to the Phillies. I am going into this, though, in this postseason, thinking the Phillies are not just the best team in the National League. I think the Phillies are the best team in baseball.
I hear you. I agree. Listen, I'm rooting for them. I could find myself at times rooting for the Eagles. Just know I will never root for the Flyers. You just have to know that. That's just a Penguins Flyers thing. I can't. All right,
it's hard to root for the Flyers right now, even in Philly. Not great.
So we do every day at 12:36. We do picks at 12:36. Should we roll we'll roll the graphic? So while we have you on the phone, and this is what you do, tell people where they can find you and what they'll find on your Twitter handle, etc.
Yeah, you can follow me at jjansen34. That's where I do most of my work, is just on Twitter. I do stuff with Fox Sports The Gambler, at FoxPHL Gambler on Twitter. I also have movie reviews. So as well, you can see my movie reviews at MovieJohn, MovieJohn.com. So yeah, I do a bit of it all, and I do some video game reviews as well. I'm a jack of all trades.
Okay, I love it.
Most of my gambling stuff you can find at jjansen34.
I love it. All right, do you have a pick today? Maybe something on, I know you kind of already talked about Thursday Night Football, but if you had to give a pick out to our viewers, what's your pick for the day?
Yeah, it is going to be the Patriots to me. I know if you're a Jets fan, you kind of feel comfortable. I love what I see from the Patriots, though, in the kind of games that I want to bet them. In these high spreads, I get it. They're on the road. They're taking on the Jets. The Jets are the better team. The Patriots aren't going to be great this season, but the Patriots are competitive. And Jacoby Brissett is a veteran quarterback that has kept teams in games. He's not going to make too many mistakes. The Patriots kind of just run the ball a lot and play good defense. They're conservative. They want low-scoring games. They want to be in these muddy drag out games, and to me that kind of works on Thursday Night Football. Now, is there a chance Aaron Rodgers at home, the vibes are high, that the Jets offense ends up scoring a ton of points and the Patriots can't keep up? Absolutely. There's a scenario where that happens, but to me the Jets offense isn't all that smooth. I like what I've seen,
right?
But it's not like they're putting up an incredible amount of points that I don't think the Patriots can cover 6. To me, this feels like a 24 to maybe 20 type game, but it's close, and I think the 6 points, I just want to take on Thursday Night Football.
All right, Ryan, you were nodding as well. What do you think?
Well, with that 20 to 24, would you take the over at 38.5?
Yeah, I think I would. I think the 38.5 is more informed by just the Patriots offense not being good. But again, Jacoby Brissett made some really good throws last week. Yeah. And I think Polk, him finding the end zone is a really good confidence booster for a guy that's young and a few weeks into his career. I just love that the Patriots offense is not getting a lot of love, and Jacoby Brissett always in these scenarios ends up playing a little bit better than people give him credit for.
There you go.
I like it.
I like it too. Last thing then, since you're talking about movies, I'm a giant movie fan too. I noticed in your bio, it said the unofficial Creed fan. And so I read that and I went, okay, is he talking Scott Stapp Creed or is he talking Michael B. Jordan Creed because he talks about he loves movies? Is it the band?
It's the band.
Yeah! Can you take me higher?
Yeah, I'm a huge Creed fan, and I think I saw history, by the way. I think I could say this. I saw history. I went to Creed's largest crowd ever, 30,000 at Hershey Park Stadium. I was there. So I don't know if it's unofficial now. I think I'm officially just the number one fan. I saw history.
That's unbelievable. And I mean, the halftime performance was at Thanksgiving in Dallas with the that's still one of the greatest things ever.
By the way, they were selling that jersey. They were selling that as merch at the show.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Okay, and what's your best movie of the year so far? I have mine that was recommended to me by young Caden, who works on the show here, but let me hear.
Okay, so do not expect too much from The End of the World. It's a long title. It's an indie movie. It's a foreign movie, but it's absolutely spectacular. Kind of deals with, how kind of everything just feels like it's decaying. It's almost doomsday that we're living through. Everybody's angry at each other. Everything's bitter. The world's cold. So I love that. It's a really good showing of all of that. But also, I did like Hitman. I thought Hitman was really good. I'm a Richard Linklater guy and Glenn Powell guy, and I thought they made a really great rom-com, which doesn't happen nowadays. And I just saw a recent one, The Substance, which I thought was very good.
So far, Civil War, to me, I really enjoyed Civil War a lot. I thought Kirsten Dunst, possible Oscar nomination, that was you've seen that like 5 times.
She'll get an Oscar nomination.
Yeah, she'll get it. She was tremendous.
I wasn't a big fan of that movie, but Kirsten Dunst was very good.
Yeah, okay. All right, very good. All right, listen, you were outstanding. You were a fantastic guest.
You,
we really enjoy having you on and coming in late, so I really appreciate it. We'd love to have you back. Make sure you follow Jon, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but go Phillies. Go
Phillies.
All right, there you go.
Jets suck.
And no Jets. We'll pass that on to Jeff Parles. All right, thank you, Jon. Thank you, Jon Jansen. He was outstanding. Look at the timing on this, ladies and gentlemen. As I'm saying goodbye to him, someone is walking in. We'll get to him in a second. Let's talk about today's date. Today is September. What's the date today?
19th, all day.
September 19th. There it is. And there's a bunch of holidays and stuff. Here we go. I got my pages all out of order. This is embarrassing to do in front of Vinny. What were the national days? I don't know what.
Get the same laptop as me.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to find it, ladies and gentlemen.
It is.
Thank you.
Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Arrgh! Oh my God, how have we forgotten to talk like a pirate?
Butterscotch Pudding Day.
No, we're not doing that one. Okay, right, but it is. Go ahead.
Small Pet Rodent Awareness Day.
Yep. Oh yeah, you got to be aware of pet
the whole
rodents.
week. Small Pet Rodent Awareness. And then National Indoor Plant Week. And then it is also Jimmy Fallon's 50th birthday.
So Jimmy Fallon is our celebrity. So what we do, ladies and gentlemen, we take all the national holidays, we throw them into the AI machine, and this is what we get right here. Boom. Oh my God. So there's Jimmy Fallon with pet rodents, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Talk Like a Pirate Day. And look at the pirate. He's got an indoor plant.
Yep.
So there you go. That looks nothing like Jimmy Fallon, really.
No.
Kind of looks a little like me, maybe a little bit. No? Fred Savage a little bit?
I could, yeah.
Also, I wanted to say Civil War, if you want to watch that with your kids, be careful. It's rated R. Talk Like a Pirate Day. Should we close the show right there? Should we end it right there? No? All right, let's bring in our guest. Ladies and gentlemen, I ran into him last night, as a matter of fact. I didn't know that I would run into him. We know him. We love him. Vegas legend. He works here at South Point. Vinny Magliulo is here. Vinny. You can throw a flag on any play too, Vinny, if you'd like.
By the way, what is this?
They're penalty. They're flags. If we make a mistake or if you want to...
Hold on a second. Let me see who this is.
Vinny's got a call. Someone's watching, and they wanted to let you know that they're watching. Oh, he's taking it.
I got to call you back, Ma. Yeah. All right. Don't go. All right. Go easy on the bingo.
Was that really your mother?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we hope she's well. Very nice, Vinny.
So, do I get a?
You can throw it right there. There you
threw it on myself for answering the phone during the show.
I try to get it in the camera. Well, I'm going to try to get it close to the camera as it flies. That one sucked. All right. Anyway, what's happening?
But it was good to see you last night. By the way, my family and I did go see Frank's show last night up at Summerlin. A sellout. Tremendous. It was.
I think they sell them all out. I can't take full
standing room only. So the 13 of us really enjoyed it.
There was 300 people there.
No, there was. It was sold out. It was great. No, you did a great job. I must say
it was a lot of fun. It was nice knowing you're there. I made a few references to Vinny being there. I could hear him laugh, his isolated laugh, a few times.
Yep.
And I didn't know he was coming. I'm walking in. All of a sudden, I see Vinny. I'm like, oh God, he's at the retirement home show. I don't. But the show started at 6. I had never done a show. But by the way, let me tell you. I'm a huge fan. My girlfriend goes, hey, do you remember when you want me to tell you when you sound like an old person? And I said, yeah. And she goes, you're excited about a 6 p.m. show? I'm like, Yes, I am. Are you kidding? I'm like, that's the best thing in the world. You're done by 7:30, whatever it was. Yeah.
And you got them out. You got everybody out to go do about.
They told me. Well, they were all
time for their meds.
I knew Survivor was coming on at 8. I wanted to get everyone home for the season premiere, and then I did not go to Miller's Pub or whatever the Millers everyone was talking about.
By the way, that's every night, but I think next week, if you go to Miller's next Friday, you might recognize some folks.
Oh, really?
Just saying.
Okay. Well, we might be at Miller's. All right.
Just saying.
So Thursday Night Football tonight, Jeff Parles' team, the Jets. You're a Jets guy.
I did. Well, it's interesting. I grew up a Jet fan.
Okay.
And, but in this business, it's not about, don't ask me who I like, ask me who I need.
Okay,
so
well, that's
now,
true, right.
Here's what we don't need. We don't need the Jets to win the game by 6 tonight.
Okay.
So the Jets did open 6.5-point favorites here at South Point. Chris puts up the numbers on Monday morning. And what they're doing is they're taking 6.5, laying 6. So overall, and two-way action on the game.
There it is.
All right, because I know you love that, Ann.
We do.
You're a bookmaker at heart. So we're back to 6.5 now. They took the 6.5. We went to 6, back to 6.5. Not a lot of movement on the total, 38.5. So we'll see. We'll see. High hopes for the Jets, right? But there have been for a couple of years.
Yeah.
They've disappointed these first couple of weeks.
Yeah, they got that win in Tennessee, though.
Which Tennessee they lost 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 0-2, but those are games that the critical mistakes, particularly by Levis at quarterback, young quarterback learning, and they're going to be some growing pains there. Patriots, listen, there's value with points, especially these first few weeks. And Mayo's got them. Listen, play good fundamental defense. Let's try to run the ball. And that's how they've they almost won last week too. I mean, they lost to Seattle
but they won
overtime.
that first week. That broke my heart, Vinny. I went 14-1 on that damn jackpot card.
I didn't want to bring it up.
I know. This is the last time I bring it up for the year.
Yeah.
How many people believe that?
No.
Here comes the flags.
Yeah.
All right.
You think that's going to be the last? Let me make that will not be the last time price that you bring that up.
I was so close. Ryan, we had Jon. He was an excellent guest. So thank you, Jeff, for giving us Jon Jansen. He was outstanding. He likes the Patriots tonight. We didn't give a pick. Do you have any take on that game or a pick? I forgot to ask you if you had a pick for tonight.
Well, so we will have more coming up this afternoon. The Football Frenzy show with Jeff Parles and myself. But just a stat to keep in mind. So Vinny had just mentioned the Patriots just lost in overtime on Sunday to the Seattle Seahawks. Teams off of an overtime win and having short rest the next week are 3-23 ATS since 2002. So short week, losing in overtime, short week does not bode well for the team that had that lost in overtime.
Who are those teams?
So, they're 26 of them. I don't know who they exactly.
No, I mean like this week. Does that affect this week?
Well, there was only the Patriots were the only team to lose last week in overtime.
Oh, they did. That's right. Jeez. Okay. Yeah. So you don't have a lean or anything or any baseball. We'll just move on, right?
You're talking like an actual pick?
Like an actual pick. 12:36. Yeah, I forgot because we had our guest.
I threw him off.
Yeah.
No, we kept him. He was great. We kept him a little longer.
What I do like today, as an official play, Braylon Allen, the backup running back for the New York Jets, his rushing total is 20.5 yards. He did go over that last week, made the most of his carries. I do think this is going to be a little bit more of a committee game. Breece Hall is going to see more of the passing routes.
Yeah.
But I do think Braylon Allen, for the backup running back, the youngest player in the National Football League, will go over.
Does he wear 0? He wears 0, I think? Or
it's either 0 or 20.
Something like that. Yeah, I remember last week.
20 is Breece. It's 0. It's 0.
Okay, it is 0, I think. Yeah. Tonight, I like Greg Zuerlein. Greg the Legatron. I like Greg over 1.5 field goals. I think that is possibly. I mean,
you bet an over?
I'm going to bet an over. But look, I looked at 38.5 and I went, whoa. The books know something because I usually like to see them in the 40s when I take over. I love 50s because I'm stupid. But anyway, I figured I could see this game being like 16-13, 19-16, one of those games. So I'm going with Legatron, Greg Zuerlein, who I think is 55 years old. The guy has been in the league for a million years.
He has.
So anyway, I like over 1.5 field goals. I don't know what it was. Sean, it's minus 131. So I like that. I like prop bets on primetime games. The one that I do a lot, and it hasn't worked a lot because passing is way down, as we know. Me and my buddy, B-Town Dummy Christian, we do the longest completion of the game. So this is just a stupid bet. You're having a few beers.
Just you and your buddy, head
Me
to
and my
head?
buddy.
Okay.
We just want a long completion. It's usually around 38 to 43 yards. Every time we bet Aaron Rodgers back in his heyday with the Packers, it would hit in the first quarter. So then you sit back and you're enjoying the game. So it's back. I see it on a lot of the sites. So I like to do that on Sunday night game. His Bears against the Texans. Why can I never remember that team? I'm like, you know what? CJ Stroud, boom. Caleb Williams, no way. Completely flipped. Caleb had 44 yards, and the longest one for Stroud was 28. But anyway, it's a dumb bet. I'm not doing that tonight. I'm going field goals.
So you're going field goals. Over 1.5.
Over 1.5 for Greg Zuerlein. It's 2 field goals for the Jets. That seems about right on a primetime game against a good defense.
Well, they haven't scored a lot of touchdowns. So, and Zuerlein's we'd one of the more consistent players.
Yeah,
really,
and
when you think about it.
I'm shifting away from a rough week of baseball. I think I was 0-3 this week, maybe 0-4 going back to Friday after winning 9 in a row. So I'm taking a break from baseball till we know what get closer to the playoffs. So I'm sticking with football.
Gotcha.
Yeah, baseball's heating up though too. I mean, it's exciting.
Well, there's good. Listen, a couple of weeks to go. Well, less than 2 weeks when you think about it, and some critical series coming up. I mean, you've got Mets and Phillies in a 4-game set. Not that the Phillies are going to blow that division lead, but the Mets trying to keep a lead over Atlanta, who's winning, or that game is over. Right? They won convincingly today. They've got a series next week that's probably going to determine 12-3 at least one, maybe 2 of the wild card spots in the National League.
Before we do a few posts, I want to say the Yankees clinched. So you're a Yankee fan, right?
No. I did not grow up a Yankee fan.
You were a Mets guy.
Grew up a Met fan.
Okay, so the Yankees clinched. Mm-hmm. Now, they haven't won the division. We don't know between them and Baltimore. Mm-hmm. Why would the schedule makers make the final 3 games of the season for the Yankees at home against the Pittsburgh Pirates?
That's an excellent question. Why is there interleague?
On the last weekend?
And what about in the last 2 weeks? The last month
division,
of the season.
Division. It's the dumbest thing. Right. What was that?
I said, why does anything in baseball mean anything?
Oh, yeah. Was that Jeff Parles? What was his quote?
It was something like that.
We need that clip because we need to play it constantly. Why is anything in baseball anything? That's famous Jeff Parles quote.
I think it's great that they've got interleague play, but the way that it's played out, the way that it's been scheduled, to your point, I mean, listen, it's look, you want more meaningful games.
Yes.
Now, will they draw? Sure, they're going to draw because a lot of folks, are
Pittsburgh will go up to Yankee Stadium, and
they'll be a decent crowd, but it's
ridiculous.
It's not good scheduling. I agree with you.
It's terrible. Why don't we do some posts with Vinny? Can we do it? Let's do it. You want to yell "Sound the horn"? Sound the horn! There it is. That's time for post and punchlines. Once in a while, we
about a horse race.
Well, we could run. The race book is right down there.
That's right. Only race book in the city.
In the city that's separated from the sports book.
That's right.
It's beautiful. So Ryan found a bunch of stuff. I find stuff. Alex, Jeff, Matt, everyone sends stuff to us. Ryan puts them together in a nice package. What is leading off post tonight with Vinny Magliulo?
Well, so this one's actually going to be a trend in the NFL from our friends that we kind of use a lot here in the studio from Wager Talk. So Ralph Michaels put this out. NFL System of the Week. Winless road teams coming off of a home loss. So this applies to the Ravens, 0-2 in Dallas, the Panthers, 0-2 in Vegas, the Broncos, 0-2 in Tampa, and the Jaguars, 0-2 in Buffalo on Monday night. So winless road teams coming off of a home loss in week number 2 are 38-19-2 against the spread. In week number 3, so this week, this trend would be 60%. 15 wins against the spread, 10 losses. And then if this continues, week 4, week 5. So for this one, just a slump buster, week 3, 60%. Well, it can't be 60% of 4 teams, but the math is that at least 2 of these teams will cover the spread. Well,
I want to see Baltimore lose, so I can't bet that.
Listen, there are trends, and you want to be aware of them and things like that. At the end of the day, you're going to bet the number, right? Yep. I mean, you want to watch and see the injuries, particularly, right? And the key injuries too. For instance, Texans. If you look at the Texans, a couple of things they have to clean up. Obviously, the penalties ridiculous.
Every team, my God,
they're 2-0, but also Nixon's injury is he's not going to be 100% if he goes. But the biggest injuries they have offensive line. They've got both their centers are questionable, both the starter and the starting backup center. So those are the things that you really want. Pay attention to injuries, and you can bear in mind, look at those trends. But I know this: we're not gonna book on those trends, and I don't mean that in a negative sense. have to book the game and what's happening
Sure.
with the game and the numbers. And from a betting perspective, you look at those teams and you say, well, be aware of that situation, but what's the number?
And that's why that injury report is so important. I mean, that's everything, right?
No question about it. No doubt.
And that's why when they cheat, they get penalized.
Well, they should.
They should. Yeah, they should.
They should.
Excuse me. All right, Ryan, what's next?
So now we're going to go to a video of a rookie wide receiver in the National Football League that had a pretty big week in week 2, and mostly in the first quarter. 4 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns for Marvin Harrison Jr. Ended up winning the Nickelodeon MVP, and Kyler Murray dumped some slime on him for the Nickelodeon bit. But the stat that it comes down to,
amazing.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is the first rookie to do that kind of stat line since his dad did it in 1996.
Nice.
Marvin Harrison Jr. caught more receiving yards, 130, in the first quarter last week than his dad did in any game of his dad's rookie year in 1996.
And he was playing with Peyton Manning in a wide open offense, so that's impressive.
That's strong. But he really dumped that stuff on him? I mean, is that like an honor?
Is it GAC, is it called, or what is it?
It's some kind of it's slime.
Slime,
he slimed him.
Yeah.
He slimed me. It's back to 1984 in the Ghostbusters. There you go, Vinny.
Nickelodeon stuff.
Anyway, Marvin Harrison Jr., everyone, after game 1, he's not going to be as good. Boom, game 2.
Kid is a talent.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
No doubt.
I remember his dad playing at Syracuse against Pitt a lot. When
his grandfather played, but let's go to the next post.
So next post is going to be looking at 2 coaches in that division with the Arizona Cardinals. Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan have their coaching trees, right? So this stat from Ryan Heath is the top 12 quarterbacks in fantasy football right now, and whether or not they're mobile or whether or not they came from the McVay-Kyle Shanahan tree. So Baker Mayfield is in Tampa. The offensive coordinator in Tampa is from the McVay-Kyle Shanahan tree. Jalen Hurts, mobile quarterback. Derek Carr has Kubiak, who came from the Kyle Shanahan tree. Kyler Murray, mobile quarterback. Lamar Jackson, mobile quarterback. Josh Allen, mobile quarterback. Jaden Daniels, mobile quarterback. Anthony Richardson, mobile quarterback. Then you have Geno Smith, who's the outlier in this.
Yeah.
And then Sam Darnold, Jordan Love, and C.J. Stroud all have coaches that come from the Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan tree.
Fruit of the McShanahan tree. I like that. Baker
nice.
Mayfield, by the way, I forgot that he was once a Carolina Panther, so was Sam Darnold.
Yep.
2 guys they let go now, 2 guys that are looking really good.
Well, there's so much pressure put on these young. We've talked about this now. They're expected to come in and make a difference right away. And look, it takes some time, but you have to give Darnold. Look at Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I mean, the team is 2-0, and they're favored
Went
this
into
week.
Detroit and won, which no one thought, right? I mean,
very good statement there. So, look, it's about a system too. You get some experience, you get with the right coordinator in the right system, and you've got to. We'll see what happens. Geno Smith's another one.
Yeah, another guy that was
right?
yeah. By the way, C.J. Stroud, what happened? I mean, that was just the perfect situation for him.
Well,
and
his talent level, I think, was he has a bit more talent.
I feel for Bryce Young, but there was a clip yesterday. You probably saw it. He's kind of walking to the practice, and he still came over and signed something for a guy. And the guy's like, keep his head up, and so he handled that right. And then he goes home to his mansion, so he's fine.
So the next one is going to be from Dan Orlovsky, the guy, former quarterback in the National Football League, works for the ESPN now.
Stepped out of bounds,
but he tweeted through 2 weeks. We have the fewest passing touchdowns since 2006.
Yeah.
We have the lowest on-record average target depth, passing target, and then the highest since 2008 of designed run plays, 41% of the time, 30 seconds of time of possession per play. So at least 30 seconds from snap to snap, which is the slowest since 2008.
Wow.
The fewest blitzes on record at just 545 across the National Football League these 2 weeks, and the highest percentage of too high safeties. 46%.
All right. So if you want to say something, go ahead, Vinny.
I think that's going to change as the season progresses, right? I think teams are still trying to figure out who they are and what they're going to run. We talk about an abbreviated preseason, and where a lot of the starters do not play. And so now, when you look at the premium that receivers are, let's look at the contracts some of these receivers received this year. So it's still a passing league. It's going to take some time. I suspect as we get into the season that's going to correct itself.
Get an uptick,
and the blitzes will increase because passing yards and passing attempts will also increase.
Well, there was a story this morning, Mel Kiper saying that the the cover 2 should be outlawed. That's not going to happen, but it was insane. No. But they were talking about on McAfee. But it's a slow start to the season as far as passing, which everyone's used to passing. Sure. And right now, don't you think the running backs who haven't got those contracts are like, very interesting.
Forgot about us.
Yeah, forgot about us, huh?
Let's not do that.
Maybe that's why it's scripted. No, it's not. There you go. Yeah. All right, what do you have next for us?
So now we're going to go to a Jay Kuda stat before a second Jay Kuda stat, but this one is going to be NFL preseason, how you did there, and how you're currently doing in the regular season. So the Chiefs and Steelers did not win a preseason game.
Right.
But they are undefeated in the regular season so
1,000.
far. The Vikings went undefeated in the preseason and are still undefeated in the regular season. The Broncos, Jaguars, Titans went undefeated in the preseason and have yet to win a game in the 2 weeks of the regular season. And the Bengals have yet to win a game in the 2024 season, period.
At all.
Period.
Now, your Bears went undefeated in preseason.
Yep.
And you were getting excited for the regular season.
So excited.
They could have been on that chart at 0-2. You do have that win against Tennessee.
Some teams, that's for years that's been the case. I think the greatest example outside of recent history, the Buffalo Bills. Marvin Levy did not care about the preseason. And, of course, they went to all those Super Bowls. So it's but the thing about it, at least then those regulars, starters, your number ones, did participate at some point. Yep. The fact that they're not now, it leads me to believe that when the next collective bargaining agreement comes due, that's going to be addressed, whether it's a shortened or elimination, perhaps, of the preseason.
I know. I just
because there is none in college, right? You're going to know what your schedule is. Do they go to 18 games? Perhaps. With 2 bye weeks, don't be shocked.
Yeah, and that way, one of the reasons for doing that is it takes the Super Bowl to the weekend of President's Day.
Which is a national holiday.
So everybody would have the day off the Super Bowl.
Everybody does it anyway, right?
Right.
It's a self-created.
Right. It's kind of genius. I mean, they might as well.
Good point.
So President's Day could become Hangover
Super
Monday.
Bowl weekend.
We'll celebrate the presidents by being hungover and laying on the couch.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Ryan, how many more do you have?
Well,
a couple more? Whatever you got.
3 more.
Okay.
3 more. Okay, so the Minnesota Vikings are the one team to go undefeated in the preseason and the regular season so far. But they have some special food going on at US Bank Stadium this season.
Yeah.
So
I saw this. This is some stuff that looks good. The egg sandwich looks like my favorite. What do we have here? So lobster mac and cheese smash burger, buffalo chicken scone cone or whatever, cookies. No, that one looks good. Okay, get to the egg. Oh, that one. Egg flip sandwich. Bring me 2 of those from Minnesota. Call Melissa Peterman. Get her on the show to send us a few of those.
Those look pretty strong. Did they deliver?
I wish.
By the way, when I lived in LA, DoorDash would deliver during Dodger games food from Dodger Stadium.
Really?
What?
Brilliant.
What?
Brilliant.
Would you order a Dodger dog just because you know it came from Dodger Stadium? Like, I just always thought that was like a little weird.
It's definitely going to get cold by the time it gets
Yes, I mean, that's exactly.
Wait a second.
And
were they the day of?
Yeah, well,
Dogs? We don't know.
That we don't know.
I'd be a little risky.
And the Dodger dog's gone downhill. When I was a kid, it was like amazing. It's okay, but I would never order food just because the game was happening. Oh, I want to eat what they're eating at the game. No, I'm not doing that.
We had 100 leftover Dodger dogs last night. Start delivering them.
Yeah, right. Those are the ones that go out for delivery. Exactly. Speaking of eating a lot, are we seeing this Patrick Mahomes heavy picture again?
Yeah.
This is so disturbing. I hate this picture.
Another Jay Kuda stat just to...
What is that?
Because
I know.
The only teams in the calendar year of 2024 to have yet to lose a game are the Kansas City Chiefs, the Seattle Seahawks, and the New Orleans Saints.
This is a picture from the other 2 of 2. This is a picture. What was it? Oh, the heavier quarterbacks won all their games.
Yeah.
And this is what Mahomes would look like. It's so disturbing. I can't look at that picture. So wait, they haven't lost a game in 2020. Chiefs, Seahawks, and Saints.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So the Seahawks and Saints didn't make the postseason last year, so they won their last regular season game, and then the Chiefs went on their run and have yet to lose. So
Seahawks, interesting.
Yeah.
Take a look at them. Look at the schedule, the way to play. Look at the injuries. The Rams are an absolute mash unit.
Seattle does have the most miles traveled. Isn't that pretty much every year? Did we do something on that? I think they do. Again, they usually do.
Yeah.
But what do you think of the New Orleans Saints, who haven't lost a game in 2024?
Well, I think what's most impressive, besides the fact that they're 2-0 and how they've dominated, look what they've done in the first half. They've put teams
Just
away
burying
in the first half.
Yeah. Dallas game was over.
It's beyond adjustments at halftime. I mean, they've scored over 30 points in the first 2 games. The The defense we figured to be was I don't think it's a surprise how they're playing defensively, but I think what their offense is doing, particularly Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara.
Do you mean the MVPs of the league so far? If the league was over today,
you've got to pay close attention to that because it's them and the Buccaneers where everybody was talking about the Falcons, right?
That was the sexy pick in that division, right?
I'll tell you what, and the Falcons, give them credit for what they did coming back on Monday night, but I'll tell you what, that division is better than we had.
I think so, yeah.
Calculated in terms of a power, because we power rate teams. We also power rate, conferences, but also divisions, and they figured to be below the Falcons. But I think take note of what the Saints have done.
They've opened some eyes. By the way, how many times have I said sexy pick on this show in the past week or two? Over under 5?
It's a decent line. I'd still probably take the over.
Yeah, probably maybe 6 times. Yeah. Okay, what else do you have, Ryan?
So the final post for today, we are going to go with the South Point opening lines of the game of the year. So college football. So South Point game of the year openers on July 19th. Oklahoma was a 4.5-point favorite versus Tennessee. Tennessee is now a 7-point favorite.
Wow.
Michigan was a 10-point favorite against USC. USC is now a 5.5-point favorite. Oklahoma State against Utah, favorite flop to now Utah -2. LSU, UCLA. LSU has added 6 points. They're now at -24. K-State at BYU. K-State has given up a touchdown from 13 down to 6.5. Clemson -9 against NC State. They are now -20.5.
I was pretty close on this.
And Iowa, Minnesota.
Wow. So you look at that and you say, you guys don't know what the hell you were doing. It's still the way they were bet. Early exercise in very, very early power ratings, and of course scrutinized by very smart, very sharp bettors, professional bettors, which you want. You want that. You want that exercise. Paul Stone was in fan of the show, fan of the network, and does a great job. One of the best college football handicappers that you're going to find. So, I mean, there were just, but don't forget, based then, there were more adjustments to power ratings then, early on, than as we get now into this third, fourth week of the college season. So it's a good exercise and a good stat. You got any more things that we were wrong on?
No, I was just showing the shifts.
If you
timed it better, then
I like the title.
The advantage.
Cold opens. The one to me, the biggest one. I mean, that Tennessee team does look good. The fact they were 4.5-point underdogs and now they're 7-point favorites in Tennessee, I assume at Rocky Top, they look good. I mean, I don't know if they'd be in the playoff, but I don't know if they can.
It's a good exercise, seriously, and also it's a good exercise for us to do because you're comparing it to professional bettors, but it's also a good exercise now to look at. Hey, wow, look at what we could have done. Now, if you have one of those tickets, there's an opportunity now for you to arbitrage and perhaps. Maybe if there's a way to middle them, and so pay attention to them. If you have them, see what you did and see if there's something else that you want to do.
Very good.
It's a good exercise.
Vinny, we appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you surprising me last night.
You did a great job
with your lovely family. It was a lot of fun. It was one of my favorite shows. It was just such a nice audience.
It was a good crowd.
Nice crowd. Good crowd. All right. What's coming up later on Sports by the Book?
Football Frenzy, 3 o'clock, Sports by the Book on YouTube. Jeff Parles, myself, Vinny might join us. And football talk for tonight's game, going to the weekends, power rankings, all that kind of stuff. 3 o'clock.
All right, we will be back Monday, ladies and gentlemen. We're off tomorrow. We'll see you Monday with Alex White, myself, Ryan McCormick. Thank you, everybody behind the glass. Sean, Steelers win this weekend? Chargers. I am a Charger fan.
Look at that.
One of those teams is going to be 3-0
behind the glass.
There you go, Caden. Thank you, everybody. Caden, we love you. Are you here next week or are you remote? Okay, Caden has been here for a long time. You've been here a long time. You're going back. We're still going to have you working on the show. We'll miss you. We just want to say you do a fine job, and I will miss your sense of humor.
He's going to be in our Salt Lake City reporter for the Utah.
There you go. So. We have a Salt Lake City reporter. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good weekend. Make sure you come back for Sports by the Book later today. We'll see you live in Nevada, every show. Punchlines.